So this is challenge 6A. We took on a challenge to understand and analyse the number of RFIs, requests for information, generated on a construction project. We were asked to develop a dashboard and to look at forecasting. We are a team of 3 people, which dropped to 2 people on the second day, which means we had to be really focused about which parts of the challenge to develop. We were provided with 2 spreadsheets at the start of the project. We spent some time, we broke it down into 3 stages, and we spent some time understanding the data we had and cleaning up that data. We then reviewed and assessed the results and looked at the different ways information could be presented before providing some mock-ups as part of our project proposal. So the first part of our project, we had to consider what McLaren currently do. RFIs are generated in Viewpoint. They're then manually exported for each project each month into an Excel file, which goes into a Word document, and then it's emailed back and forward across the company. What that means is that key people in the business can't quickly or easily access the information they need. Reporting is always lagging, and that we don't benchmark or compare cross-project data. What my group is proposing to do is to develop an API that will automatically collect all that data from Viewpoint. We then want to store that data into a company-wide database using Power BI to compare past projects, look for correlations, and develop trends and benchmarking for best practice. We then use that past project data to compare against live projects for forecasting. So we developed a series of dashboards using Power BI for what that key people within the business can access instead of reading a manual report. So this is what the company-wide database would look like. We plotted everything onto a scatter diagram so that we could see trends and develop brackets. We started by adding a filter so that we could break down the projects by their sector, the type of work, and the form of contract, as well as procurement route, so that we can accurately compare projects against each other. We then factored in performance information based on the past projects, whether they were delivered late or to budget. From this, we were able to develop a trend line and brackets to show high and low RFIs. And what we feel we've been able to develop is a framework that, as more projects get added to this database, the trend lines become more accurate, and it can be used going forward as a basis and a framework that can be developed. We then started to consider the different stakeholders who would be using these dashboards and presented a dashboard which appealed to each one of them. So we looked at it at sector level, providing information on the individual projects against their value, breaking it down to show the different type of work which would have an impact on RFIs, as well as providing information on the contract and procurement route, which gives an insight into the team's performance at how well they're handling these issues. We then started to look at when the RFIs occur on a project, plotting the creation date against the project duration, and this proved what we expected. Projects, depending on their scope, have a different outline, and then when we compared performance data, projects that were late had more RFIs than projects that finished on time or early. Last dashboard is to look at live project reporting. So instead of creating a manual report, this one dashboard shows everything everybody needs for that individual project. It plots the RFIs against the project. It shows the priority to say if the design team are performing, actioning, and closing those issues. And then this is the key bit. It compared against the past projects. We're able to say how this project is performing in relation to a project of its similar type. So this process, ultimately, it's automating everything. It's improving efficiencies. It means we can start to benchmark data, which is something we haven't been able to do before. That will provide an early warning system for live projects so that we can compare projects, identify the risks. There's a commercial benefit in terms of saving time. It can also be inform the performance of our staff reviews, as well as future-proofing the company for what we can do with big data and machine learning going forward.